The following is a presentation of the St. Louis Chess Club.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 2021 U.S. Championships and U.S. Women's Championships, as well as the Hall of Fame induction for 2020. I am Maurice Ashley. It's my pleasure to be here on this magical night. What a gorgeous place to host this event. It will be indeed very special for the folks who will be inducted into the Hall of Fame for sure, and I'm sure that the players are excited because last year, everything was online. And this year, we are back to playing chess over the board. We have some of the finest players in the nation here competing. I always say this is my favorite event to commentate here in St. Louis because of the fire, the passion, the players giving it their all, and there's always amazing backstories. So we expect more of the same this year. Well, we do have a great venue, and to talk about the venue and add a few remarks will be Mike Isaacson, who is the artistic director and executive producer of the Muny. Mike?
Good evening. On behalf of the board and all of us who work here at the Muny, we are so honored to serve as your hosts for this evening. It is deeply exciting and moving. My relationship with the Chess Club and the World Chess Hall of Fame actually began a few years ago because I live in the neighborhood. And I've just been in awe of what they've accomplished and seeing the young people coming in and out and seeing them play chess. And over the last couple of years, I've got to know them individually, personally. And what an extraordinary organization. And we are so proud to be hosting this event. The connection I want to focus on, if you don't know anything about the Muny, if you're here from out of town, is we are the oldest theater in the US. We just had our 104th season. Just over there, we have 10,000 seats. We have an extraordinary public access program. 1,500 seats are free a night. And we host some of the world's greatest talents on that stage. This room, which I want to just honor the Chess Club staff for making more beautiful than I've ever seen it, is actually a rehearsal platform during the season. If you look at the dotted lines that are beneath you, those are stage marks where things come in and out, and the round circle is our turntable. But the really amazing connection is in this space. In this space, this is where people have learned their craft and their greatness and their opportunity, which is what I've seen this extraordinary organization do. In this space, a future Tommy Tune, who went on to win 9 Tony Awards, choreographed his first musical. And when I look at what you're accomplishing for young people and their discovery, talk to some SLU students and what they were accomplishing and how exciting this is, it is an incredible gift to this community. So as a partner in this community, I'm so grateful you're here. This is going to be an extraordinary evening. And to Dr. Jeanne Rex Sinquefield and Rex Sinquefield, if you don't know it, you are in a room of people who are so grateful to you and what you've given and what you've provided them. So it is beautiful to be here tonight where you are honored. Great, thank you.
Thank you for those words, Mike. Well, the Hall of Fame, the World Chess Hall of Fame, if you don't know, if you haven't been there, you're missing out on one of the great institutions in chess. They do a fabulous job of curating, setting up incredible exhibitions. I always am mystified by what they do. Incredibly, tonight, earlier today, I should say, for the very first time, I saw an interview with Bobby Fischer and Bob Hope from 1972, And surprisingly, Bobby was really funny, for one thing. More surprisingly, Gary Kasparov and Fabiano Caruana sitting at the table with me had never seen this interview either, which is kind of a shame that you have like grandmasters who've never seen such an epic interview. Guys, make sure you check it out at the World Chess Hall of Fame. It's right on the ground floor. As I said, pretty funny stuff. And in charge of everything that happens in Magic at the World Chess Hall of Fame is its chief curator, Shannon Bailey.
After the dinner, please come up and see these beautiful artifacts that are part of our permanent collection. All of them are named after the Sinquefields or produced by the Sinquefields, especially Jeanne and her Read and Write chess and her Chess to Go. On behalf of the entire staff of the World Chess Hall of Fame, I want to welcome you to this wonderful celebration as well. And this night is so special. I love that we're finally all here together. It's such a great evening to see all of you again. And I love that we're finally getting to induct Jeanne and Rex into the US Chess Hall of Fame. Congratulations to you both. I am also so happy to announce that this past September did mark the 10th anniversary of the World Chess Hall of Fame here in St. Louis. And all of that happened because of the vision and the generosity of Rex and Jeanne. Thank you again. In these 10 quick years, we have welcomed 138,000 visitors to the World Chess Hall of Fame, 16,000 this year alone, despite the issues with the pandemic, so that's just wonderful. We've shown 50 exhibitions in that 10 years, and we've had dozens of concerts and lectures and programs, all of which have shown chess in a new and exciting life. We were also able to do this under the leadership of our great general manager, Joy Bray, and the talent of our wonderful staff. Many of the staff has also been here for 10 years with me doing all of this, so that's incredible to have us all together this long. And we, as Maurice was saying, we do hope you come and visit not only and see that great Bobby Fischer video, but our 3 exhibits that are Check Please, Pawns and Passports, and Masterminds Chess Prodigies. We are going to have a big 10-year exhibition in January called Mind Art Experience, 10 Years of Chess and Culture in St. Louis, and that's going to open, like I said, in January, so come back and see that. I have been with the World Chess Hall of Fame since 2010, and I was also involved with the Chess Club when it opened in 2008, and you just knew that something special was happening even from the beginning. And that's truly, like I said, because of the vision of the Sinquefields. Each and every induction to the Hall of Fame has always been really special to witness, but I love experiencing the celebration of each person who has made this game so important. Seeing Jeanne and Rex now joining the ranks of these legends is so deserving and really emotional for all of us who have been on this journey so far. They are responsible for increasing the love of this game in such a short time and have given so many children, artists, new players, and lovers of culture 2 unique and perfect institutions to easily fall in love with. I truly appreciate everything that they have done for this game and everything that they have done for St. Louis too, and I so look forward to what is yet to come. Congratulations, Jeanne and Rex.
Thank you for those words, Shannon. Up next, we have our great partners at US Chess who had to give Jeanne and Rex permission to take over the US Championship. I'm sure they did it with a giant smile on their faces. But to talk about what Jeanne and Rex have meant to US Chess is the Vice President of US Chess, Randy Bauer.
So to say that Rex and Jeanne have meant a lot to U.S. chess is a huge understatement. They are clearly the longest serving and largest benefactors that U.S. chess has ever had. And a lot of the success that U.S. chess has as an organization and many of its best players is because of their active involvement. And so I'm gratified to have the opportunity to express our thanks to both Rex and Jeanne tonight for their enormous contributions to U.S. chess. We all understand the great undertaking that they do with the U.S. championships, and this is, I believe, the best national chess championship in the world, and I think there are a lot of players that would agree with that. But beyond that, they have continued to expand their contributions to chess to include the women's championship, the junior championship, the girls' championship, and now the senior championship. And that kind of expresses and explains their interest in growing chess to all segments of the population. I also should note that besides the financial contributions they've made, which are many, Jeanne, for example, was instrumental in obtaining the merit badge for chess with the Boy Scouts of America. And that's another example of how they have expanded what chess means in this country and really appreciate that. You know, I had the fortune of having a small part of what became the involvement of St. Louis and the Sinquefields in the U.S. Championship. It goes back to 2008. I'm a director in a public finance firm and does a lot of work with the city of St. Louis. The city was interested in doing a revenue study. I direct the tax policy practice in our firm. And so we were hooked up. Mayor Slay's chief of staff reached out to us and put us in touch with Rex's people about the possibility that he might, or his nonprofit associated with it might fund that particular study. So our managing director and I came to St. Louis. We had dinner. Anybody who's had dinner with Rex knows it was quite an experience. We talked about a variety of subjects. We talked about public policy, we talked about politics, baseball, and eventually the subject came around to chess. And I knew that Rex was a chess player. I was at the time serving on the executive board of U.S. Chess. But I didn't have any idea of exactly how much Rex was invested in our game. And he told me about this club that he was, you know, building. And I was like, oh, that's cool. I mean, I've been to the 3Ms, the Manhattan, Marshall, and Mechanics chess clubs, and I figured, well, okay, this is going to be something not like that. And I was blown away. He took me there, we toured it, and it's a phenomenal facility. It was then, and of course it still is. And at one point he said something along the lines of, you know, maybe someday I'd like to host a U.S. championship. And I'm not a very good poker player, so maybe Rex already knew that I was kind of pretty interested in that being a possibility. And after that meeting, the executive, or my managing director, who is not a chess player, came out of that and said, well, we may have not got a funder for St. Louis's revenue study, but I think you may have found a sponsor for the U.S. Championship. And that was true. Rex and the people in St. Louis have been funding and founding and supporting and holding that event ever since then, from 2009 on. And it's just an outstanding event. The thing that some people have said to me is, well, that was kind of a fortunate coincidence. And I really don't believe that, because I believe that at some point in time, if it had not been that first year, Rex would have been founding, funding, and building that U.S. championship to what it is now, because that's the kind of person he is. He's a visionary leader, and he knows how to brilliantly execute on a vision. And as chess players, that's kind of, we understand that as a combination. That's the way you win in chess, and that's the way Rex and Jeanne have helped us build a winning combination for U.S. chess. And I'm so happy to be a part right now of their long overdue recognition as members of the U.S. Chess Hall of Fame.
Thank you, Randy. Well, next up is a gentleman who's been a visionary himself, who's shown how to execute at the highest level and has been an amazing friend to St. Louis and the Sinquefields. He may or may not have deserved to get into the Hall of Fame. He probably did, got a couple of votes. Ladies and gentlemen, the 13th world champion of chess, Garry Kasparov.
Thank you. Good evening. It's always delightful to be here in St. Louis, the chess capital of the world. No wonder I always feel at home. With so many events, grandmasters, and the beautiful chess club and Hall of Fame, it reminds me a little of Moscow in the 70s and 80s. Except the weather and food are better here, and there's not so much KGB around. I hope. The reason we are here tonight is also the reason the Gateway City has become the gateway to chess. Jeanne and Rex Sinquefield. Their work has not been mere sponsorship, as welcome as that is in our sport. Their advocacy for chess at every level, in every way, could only come from a sincere passion for the game and its many benefits as a force for competition, education, and culture. There have often been arguments in the chess world about whether to support the grassroots or the elites. Do we emphasize chess in education and use tournaments to build the next generation? Or do we host grandmaster tournaments and support top players who in turn may inspire the next generation of American kids the way Bobby Fischer's victory did in 1972, nearly half a century ago? Or perhaps, a better example these days, the way the fictional American champion Beth Harmon has done thanks to the success of Netflix show The Queen's Gambit. The only right answer has been given by the Sinquefields. We do both. We do it all, and we see what works best. We take action and move things forward. It's a very Sinquefield way to do things, and a very Kasparov way too, I must say. I knew from our first conversations that Rex didn't just want his name on a building or a trophy. It was clear he wanted to do that most important thing of all, to make a difference, to change lives for the better, to change his city for the better, and through those lives and this city, to change the world for the better. And there is no doubt, they have achieved it, with much more to come. From a beautiful chess club to Jeanne's tireless work creating the Boy Scouts Chess Merit Badge, to Rex's early support of the Rising Stars Junior program, and hosting all the major US championships. It's wonderful to see how many of those talented chess kids are now playing in the elite championships and competing on the world stage. Others have gone off to college, on to achieve in other areas, always with the confidence and skills that chess gave them. Each of them owes a debt to the Sinquefields, and this may be the only debt that Rex would never try to collect. This time, his return on investment is here with all of us and here in the heart. I want to say a few words about one of the heroes of the past, because I think it's appropriate to talk about this story. In the first half of the 15th century, the small country of Portugal became a great exploring nation. Much of the credit goes to a man who is best known today simply as Prince Henry de Navegador, or Enrique o Navegador. His keen interest in charting and exploring the world did not lead him personally out the ocean's blue. Henry's legacy was to create schools that taught the sciences, navigation, cartography, and astronomy. He was the inspiration and patron of journeys all over the known world and beyond. Henry's efforts would later form University of Lisbon and lay the human foundation for Portugal to explore the globe and become a world power. It started with the coast of Africa, the Madeira Islands in 1419, considered the first territorial find in what is now known as the Age of Discovery. Henry was not just trying to make the usual 20% on these voyages. He wanted to push out into the unknown, to open the world to his people, to make a difference. Today in America, we're living in a new age of chess, thanks to the Sinquefields and their passion for making a difference. They are laying a solid human foundation for the game of chess and in the minds and souls of everyone who is touched by their work. That boost in human capital is worth more to Jeanne Rex than any other kind. They're sending countless well-prepared explorers out into the world. They have acted out the Jesuit saying, learn to give and to not count the cost. Usually, a Hall of Fame ceremony marks the end of a great career. I think I might have a plaque or photo in that building somewhere, as Maurice mentioned. But a career in promoting chess doesn't have to end along with your hair. As much as Jeanne Rex have achieved, they will not stop there. I'm honored to be here to induct them into the US Chess Hall of Fame. And I look forward with great anticipation to seeing what they do next. Congratulations, my friends.
Thank you so much, Gary. Before I introduce the next gentleman who will take the stage and do the honorary proceedings, I'd like to say just a couple of words from a personal side. When I first came to St. Louis and I got to meet Rex, it was a bromance right away. Some of you may know that I like to once or twice trash talk. A little bit. But Rex is one of those that can give and take just as well. And I remember one of our dinners, I think it was at Brasserie, we were sitting down outside, and a waitress was trying to get around Rex. And he was kind of sitting, basically in her way. And so I looked up at her and I said, please excuse him because he's so obese. And without skipping a beat, Rex said, please excuse him, he just got out of prison. And it's been a love affair ever since. I'll tell him about my Yankees, how we won 27 World Series, we're the best team ever, and he'll say, yeah, but you know that the Cardinals are 3-2 against the Yankees in the World Series. And I got to deal with the nonsense. Last thing I'll say, though, however, is after speaking with Jeanne so many times at dinner as well, hearing her incredible thoughts, one thing I can say, Rex, is she's definitely the smarter Sinquefield. With that, I will introduce to the stage the VP of Scholastic Chess for U.S. Trust and the Chair of the Scholastic Council, Sunil Weeramantry.
Thank you, Maurice. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, We have all heard about the Renaissance man, but how often does one speak of the Renaissance woman? Dr. Jeanne Rex Sinquefield fits this bill to perfection. She's an academic, a polyglot, an accomplished bass player and lover of music, and a noted philanthropist. And definitely not someone to mess with. After all, Jeanne holds a black belt in judo, a fact that her beloved husband Rex has painfully experienced on a few occasions. I had the pleasure of getting better acquainted with Jeanne when my wife Carolyn and I were guests of the Sinquefields at the farm. One of the highlights of our stay was a tour of the property that Jeanne took me on by golf cart. It was during this memorable ride that I first learned about another one of her passions, the Boy Scouts. I recall stopping at the lake house. Jeanne told me how entire troops would visit and conduct STEM experiments there, and she planned to enhance their experience by installing state-of-the-art equipment for them. STEM to chess was a logical transition. Jeanne went on to become a staunch advocate for an idea that was first advanced by Ralph Bowman, a former chair of the Scholastic Committee of U.S. Chess. This was to create a chess merit badge for the Boy Scouts. Jeanne's dedication to the project soon led to the realization of this dream. Some years later, the Central West End was treated to a live game of chess in the shadow of the world's tallest chess piece on the street in front of the world's best chess club and the World Chess Hall of Fame. And the pieces? The Boy Scouts, naturally. The rest is history. Today, more than 250,000 chess merit badges have been awarded. It was during this period that Dr. Sinquefield began working on a pamphlet entitled Learn to Read and Write Chess. And I noticed a few copies of them lying around. I'm sure you can pick one up on your way out. Her academic background in linguistics made her appreciate the value of learning the language of chess, and she wanted to make this skill easily accessible to everyone. She perfected the pamphlet with the help of grandmasters affiliated with the chess club. It has now been translated into a dozen languages and may be downloaded free of charge around the world. Invaluable as these initiatives have been to the world of chess, they still pale in comparison to Jeanne's most significant contributions, the creation of the Sinquefield Cup and the Cairns Cup. It was on a sunny spring afternoon in 2013 that Jeanne, Joy Bray, Tony Rich, and I were discussing the state of chess in the country. Jeanne remarked that despite all the support Rex was giving to US chess, there was no event bearing his name. Thus was born the Sinquefield Cup. That fall, the inaugural event was held featuring 4 players: the world champion Magnus Carlsen, the number 2 ranked player in the world Lev Aronian, and the top 2 Americans Hikaru Nakamura and Gara Kamsky. The Sinquefield Cup has since evolved into the crown jewel of the chess circuit and is universally regarded as the world's finest elite chess tournament. A few years later, Jeanne decided to extend the same consideration to women players and launched the Cairns Cup, an invitational event that carries her maiden name. Unlike many other prestigious international invitational tournaments that are in danger of disappearing, the Sinquefield Cup and the Cairns Cup are set up through the generosity of the Sinquefields to continue long into the future. their legacy is secure. Therefore, with the lasting gratitude of chess enthusiasts around the world, and with the authority vested in me as a trustee of the U.S. Chess Trust, I hereby induct Dr. Jeanne Rex Sinquefield into the U.S. Chess Hall of Fame.
This is a real honor to be inducted to the World Chess Hall of Fame, given that I am in this crowd and I am the only unrated chess player. Okay. Rex and I moved back to St. Louis actually Missouri. We live in the farm, but we have a house here. In 2006, and Rex started talking about starting a chess club. And you know what I thought? How expensive could it be? So in 2008, or was it 8 or 9? 8, we started the chess club. And we started sponsoring right after that in 2009 the U.S. Chess Championship. And I thought, well, that's fun. So we're talking, my son owns a movie studio. So I thought, well, we should stream it, right? Get a couple of people and a camera and whatever. Instead, we have the world's best, right, live. Who thinks that the stuff coming out of St. Louis is the best live stream chess? Okay. And then, of course, Rex comes to me and says, of course, this isn't going to be expensive. Why don't we bring the World Chess Hall of Fame to St. Louis? They'd like us to do that. So I think, okay, that sounds okay, right? We're going to bring it, and it was opened, and I thought, okay. Somebody was talking to me and said, how come we've never had chess as a merit badge? Because everybody knows I'm really big into scouts. Okay. So I called a friend of mine, and she was on the national committee to approve new merit badges. And she had 100 that they looked at, and she says, chess is the 100th, so it's probably not going to get it approved. So I told I told her, tell National I'll pay for the launch. A month later, chess merit badge was approved. So now I'm there, and they're allowing me to be the first chess merit badge counselor, and I'm thinking, oh man, this is going to be a real disaster, So I got like all these adults, and I made Rex come and help me teach it, like the important part of how you play chess, okay? And I was thinking, well, we'll have a simple ceremony, right? But we're talking with Shannon and Joy. And so it starts evolving, and we decide and I thought, you know what? I have a friend who's in NASA, okay? And he knows this astronaut who used to play in outer space, just got out from outer space and was playing chess. Maybe he would come to the launch. So after working with National and Boy Scouts and everything else, we got him to come. And so I taught the chess merit badge, and we had scouts from the council I'm with, Great Rivers, and then the Greater St. Louis, right? And then we had fun. Hey, Carl, do you remember playing in the, I don't know, I don't have a picture of this stick course. He was one of the kings. No, yeah, that's right, you were one of the kings. And it was so much fun. We got to see chess, and you know what? It went viral. Randy did a little video, and every Boy Scout troop in America was watching the video about chess. And it's now, this year, chess was the #2 merit badge of all merit badges offered last year. Now, Rex has done a lot of things and wonderful things, spent a lot of our money, and he's, the godfather of American chess. So he was working on all these super tournaments, right? The Sinquefield Cup, the Grand Chess Tour, getting the very, very best players in the world, right? And I'm thinking, okay. And then the staff is taking care of schools, right? And we're doing all these, we have 100 chess clubs in the greater St. Louis area now, 3 of the best colleges, college chess, Webster, SLU, and Mizzou, okay? We're doing it all. And I'm thinking, what about the kids who don't have coaches? We're out there with my scouts. And then I realized the barrier to getting good at chess was the ability to read and write it. So it was the hardest book I've ever written. You try to write how to read and write chess for a 7-year-old. And I believe Joy had her niece come in, and her niece, who was 7, taught her 5-year-old how to read and write chess. So we now have it, thanks to my friends in the chess world. They've taken my little chess booklet and translated it into 8 other languages. Okay. So I want to point out, German was because she didn't wave you, but she didn't translate it. She found me someone in German, okay? I don't have the French. Christian did Romanian. Where are you? Alejandro did Spanish. Yasser's wife did Dutch. Wesley So's mother helped us get a translator. Where's Wesley? He's out there. So it's in Filipino, right? And I translated into Indonesian until the Indonesian player from SLU read it and said, I don't know how she said it. She said it was a little rough. So basically, we decided to, and then it was the best-selling booklet at the World Chess Hall of Fame. I was so proud. It sold more copies than Bobby Fischer Plays Chess, right? Okay. But because we're the Sinquefields, and it's how we do that, it is now available for free for anybody in the world. You just go to the chess club, down it, send it to your friends, because we're going to make chess America the chess place and the world chess. So we can all get better. So now, Reese, because I'm always doing odd things, and Shannon and Joy sort of figure I'm not going to do anything new, okay? This year I was on the Bicentennial Commission for the state of Missouri, celebrating 200 years. And I came in a little late, and I looked, and they didn't have any permanent thing that anybody was building, right, for the bicentennial. So I thought a bicentennial chessboard would be fine. So the committee went there. Guess what? Who would I think would make it? An Eagle project, right? So the scouts got, who would do the work? State Historical Society, World Chess Hall of Fame, and the Chess Club did the funding. So now the state of Missouri is going to have a 14-foot granite chess set with 32 engravings, celebrate 200 years of the state of Missouri, and it will be in front of the Capitol, and the governor has already done, Governor Parsons has already, we had a small event, we haven't put it down in the ground yet, to celebrate chess. So Missouri is chess, guys. So, and the final thing is I want to thank all the chess lovers and the chess players, the guys who are out there and the people who are lousy players like me. And basically, because it's been so much fun, you're actually making it possible for us to continue to do. And I want to thank you for this honor. And I want to tell you how appreciative I am of being married to the godfather of American chess.
Thank you, Dr. Sinquefield. Much has already been said about our next inductee, Mr. Rex Sinquefield, and his myriad contributions to the resurgence of American chess. I would like to emphasize, however, that for the Sinquefields, supporting chess is very much a family affair. Be it the establishment of the magnificent chess club and Scholastic Center of St. Louis, or the creation of chess events for elite players, as well as the introduction of our wonderful game to thousands of Scholastic players, or even enhancing the culture of chess by bringing the World Chess Hall of Fame to the Central West End, Rex and Jeanne have always acted as equal partners. It was in the early years of the St. Louis chess boom that the club contacted my stepson, Grandmaster Hikaru Nakamura, and offered him the position of Grandmaster in Residence. Hikaru was impressed by the genuine warmth of the offer, decided to leave Seattle to take up residence in St. Louis. He was the first Super GM to do so. Hikaru has asked me to express his gratitude to Rex and Jeanne and regrets that he is not able to attend the ceremony tonight. One of Rex's dreams has always been to turn St. Louis into the chess capital of the USA, and he has most definitely succeeded. The same hospitality that was extended to Hikaru was also extended to other elite players. Some of those who have followed Hikaru into St. Louis are Grandmaster Fabiano Caruana, who's here in the audience, Grandmaster Wesley So, Grandmaster Lenier Dominguez, and most recently, Grandmaster Lev Aronian. Attracting the elite is one thing. Changing a culture is quite another. This is where the Hall of Fame comes in. In the beginning, there was one Hall of Fame, the US Chess Hall of Fame, which over time had migrated from New Windsor to Miami. In 2001, then FIDE Vice President Steve Doyle convinced the international body to create the World Chess Hall of Fame, and both entities were housed in the same facility under the sponsorship of Excalibur Electronics. When Excalibur was later acquired by another company, the two halls of fame had to find a new home. It is then that Managing Director Al Lawrence reached out to the Chess Center, Chess Club, and Scholastic Center of St. Louis. Rex and Jeanne Sinquefield loved the idea. The club was already thriving on Maryland Avenue as a popular destination for chess players of all stripes. Now, here was a unique opportunity to introduce the community to chess culture and history as well. The Sinquefields decided to purchase the building across the street. They had it gutted, brought in an expert from New York, and redesigned the space to house the halls of fame and a museum, thus creating the landmark we have today, the World Chess Hall of Fame. Chess in America does not go back very far. We certainly cannot duplicate the history and rich heritage of European chess. But there is something exciting happening here in St. Louis right now. There is an irresistible force that is being driven by Rex and Dr. Jeanne Sinquefield. It's a new history in the making, and St. Louis is leading the way. And it gives me great pleasure, and it is with the authority vested in me as a trustee of the U.S. Chess Trust that I humbly induct Mr. Rex Sinquefield into the U.S. Chess Hall of Fame.
Oh, man. I thought you said you were going to keep unruly people out of here. Well, thank you, everyone, for the gracious applause and for attending this evening. First of all, I'd like to thank my wife, Jeanne, for letting me start a chess club. I really wanted to have a small place for people in the community to play, and never dreamed of what it has become. Joy and Tony like to remind me that when the club was built, we had one office and a front desk. Now we have 100 employees and contractors, among whom my son Randy is numbered, that make these organizations hum. With that being said, it's the staff and the contractors of the Chess Club and World Chess Hall of Fame that make it all happen. This honor bestowed on me really should be bestowed on them. I had the idea of the chess club, but I never would have imagined what it has become. Well, secondly, Gary, when I think of you in chess, I think of a beast. See, some people understand that reference. You're the most intense person to be around while playing chess. With that being said, you are such an eloquent speaker and connoisseur of history and human rights, and thank you very much for your kind and humbling remarks. Sunil, thank you for your thoughtful comments. You and Hikaru have been friends of the club since the beginning. Hikaru was the first Super GM to move to St. Louis, which will always be a memorable moment for me. Becoming interested in chess, my Uncle Fred taught me how to play when I was 13 years old, and I beat him the second time we played. Always felt a bit guilty about that, but I've learned to deal with the guilt. From that moment, it just stuck with me. I continued to play, but work and family took up time, so I couldn't play many tournaments. As most of you know, Bobby Fischer is one of my idols, and I really wanted chess to become more popular after the Fischer boom. It did, and not because of me. I've always been impressed by the ornate and rich history of the beautiful chess sets that people collect, and I was more than happy to move the Hall of Fame from Miami to St. Louis so chess could be displayed in the many formats through the incredible exhibitions managed and created by Shannon Bailey and Emily Allred. Now, this next section is kind of subtle, but extremely funny. So if you want to show how smart you are, you will react to this humor. When I first heard that I was being inducted into the Hall of Fame, I thought of Bob Uecker, the former St. Louis Cardinal and Milwaukee Brewer catcher and current sportscaster, comedian and actor. In 2003, when he was inducted into the Sports Hall of Fame, he said, and I say, fellas, I really should have gone in as a player. Then I thought about becoming a grandmaster and realized that would be too much work. So I just accept this very humbly. It's a very kind thing you're doing. Thank everyone for being here tonight and celebrating this memorable event with me and Jeanne. Thank you.
There's some things in life you are happy to get to witness. And what I just got to see in great dear friends and great benefactors of our game, they have changed the sport, they have changed our lives, they have changed my life personally. I can say I'm grateful. I will remember this moment forever, seeing you two get inducted into the Hall of Fame. Wonderful moment for all of us. This morning, I had to wake up. Woo, those are some dynamic words I must have said. This morning, I had to wake up at 4:30 a.m. Why? I was told about a month ago that I would have to do a press tour, extolling the virtues of the U.S. championship, all the great players. And I said, oh, really? I got to do that? And then they said, no, but you also get to talk about Rex and Jeanne Sinquefield getting inducted into the Hall of Fame. I said, oh, okay, I can wake up for that. That I'll do. And I did 25 interviews, the same questions over and over again. I was in the Hall of Fame, and they were coming to me from all over the country. And one of the questions was, tell us about the inductees into the World Chess Hall of Fame, into the U.S. Chess Hall of Fame. And I'm thinking, I only have a minute? But I did it over and over again. It was a great pleasure. Thankfully, we have more than a minute for a video that has been put together in the honor of these two now Hall of Famers. Please take a look at the monitor.
St. Louis, Missouri. This historic city is famous for many things. The Gateway Arch National Park, the Anheuser-Busch Brewery, the St. Louis Cardinals, the Blues, both hockey and music. St. Louis also has a major distinction from other American cities. It's the chess capital of America. And St. Louis boasts that distinction because of two extraordinary people, Rex and Dr. Jeanne Karen Sinquefield.
Well, I was intrigued with chess since I was a child, since I would see its imagery in movies. And I was always wondering, what is it? That looks so neat. And when I was 13, I had my Uncle Fred teach me how to play. And not showing my gratitude, I beat him in the second game we played. Always felt a little guilty about that, but not so much guilt that I wouldn't try to do it again. And then I stayed with chess while I was in high school at Bishop DuBourg High School, joined the chess team, stayed very active with it then, and then continued on with it, but in an interrupted form when I entered college at the seminary in St. Louis, Cardinal Glennon College, and then stayed with it after I got out of the seminary and went to St. Louis U. But it wasn't ever a real formal kind of activity for me. It was, hit and miss, in and out, stuff like that. And then I had these three little munchkins running around the house, and it made it difficult to continue to play chess because I had to leave in the evenings or on the weekends and take care of the kids. So I told Jeanne that I'm giving up chess for a while, but I was putting her on notice that I would come back when the kids are grown.
Well, the little joke I have about the chess campus relates to Rex playing chess. And years ago, I said to myself, yeah, he can play chess. How expensive can it get?
How did it all begin? Where was the inspiration? Well, Rex Sinquefield had a lifelong hobby.
And I get approached by Bob Jacobs, who's a big guy in the St. Louis chess scene, and he says, hey, Tony, there's this guy that really wants to start a chess club. He's retired and moved back to St. Louis, and I think you should meet him. It would be a good idea.
And I've been thinking of starting a chess club. And they said, well, how do we do it? I said, maybe we should go around and look for some space.
When I first saw the space that the chess club was going to be in, I thought there's absolutely no way that they can turn this into a beautiful club. It was this abandoned space that looked like it hadn't been renovated in years and years. And they said, this is what we plan to have for the club. 3 stories, have classrooms upstairs, have free play on the main floor, have a library in the basement.
We wanted to be near the schools, near the inner city schools, because we wanted to have access. The whole point of this was to get chess in front of all of the school children in all of the schools.
I became involved with the chess club because I am the chess coach of founder Rex Sinquefield, and he started telling me about this idea for a chess club in St. Louis. And soon thereafter, I was here for the opening, and wow, it was the most beautiful chess club I'd ever seen.
Never seen a chess club this nice and built with such great respect for chess and for chess players.
I had to pinch myself to make sure I wasn't in Europe or Russia or somewhere else.
All the details down to everything, the chairs, the tables, the weighted chess pieces. Everywhere you look, it was an homage to the vision of chess and our noble game.
And as everyone who has ever been here has always been very impressed with the club. It's become a worldwide phenomenon.
The U.S. Chess Championships for men and women needed a home, and there was really only one solution.
Rex was meeting with Randy Bauer. Randy Bauer's been very involved with the U.S. Chess Federation for a number of years.
So I tell him, well, we're building a chess club. Why don't you come and see the build out? As we're walking from the racket club over to this location, I said to him, someday I would love to be able to host a U.S. championship here in St. Louis. And he goes, well, it just so happens they're looking for a sponsor, so you might be the one. And that's exactly what happened. It came together that fast. So we made a bid and we got it, and it's pretty remarkable. And the way it has grown has astounded everyone, certainly astounded me more than anyone. I never expected it to turn into what it has become, a world power in chess.
Here in St. Louis, you have a professional championship, you have the best players in the world, everything is taken care of and everyone is looked after, and I think that's very important towards professionalizing the game of chess and making it more popular for the general public.
I definitely think the bar has been raised for U.S. women's chess. I think the status of this championship has definitely given something for the players to reach higher for. Just knowing that every year there's this very strong tournament. It's going to be broadcast to thousands of people across the country and across the world with big prizes. It gives you something to train for.
And of course now it's a very prestigious title. Like with the US Championship title, now you can say you're a very top player.
Well, obviously after that first experience, I hoped that it would continue to be here, and then it did. So I was very happy, and then after 1 or 2 years, it seemed like, there's really no other place that it should be held. This was by far the best experience I've had playing chess in the United States. So now I just, I assume it's going to be here for the foreseeable future, basically.
How do you foster and build interest in the game of chess in America? Again, Rex and Jeanne had a plan.
Scholastic chess has always been very important to us since the very beginning. When the club opened, we worked with a local nonprofit called Urban Future, and Frank Van Brie really helped kind of mold and form what the Scholastic program was going to become. In the early days, it was kind of tough getting chess in schools. As you know, it's very tough for a lot of teachers to give up some of their class time for something, especially like chess, when they feel like they're already stretched thin as it is. So it took a number of years before we were really able to kind of get our foot in the door at a lot of schools, before teachers started talking to each other and explaining to each other just what they were seeing because of the chess programs. Now we have exactly the opposite problem. It's almost too hard to keep up.
Really, the mission of the club is to foster the game of chess and all of the educational benefits it can generate, especially to children. And we're in well over 100 schools, and we've got in-school programs, part of the regular curriculum, and after-school programs.
As the children get more interested and they have their friends come and play, that we see with these huge scholastic tournaments, they have, thousands of kids playing. So that is what is the resurgence in chess. And thank goodness, it's very important.
There's no doubt that there's a correlation between how kids perform in chess and how they perform in scholastics.
And what it does is it helps engage learners. They enjoy doing chess. It makes them becoming more analytical, more disciplined in terms of how they approach their studies in school overall. It gives them something to look forward to, as we've seen with surveys that were done. Kids that have chess in school look forward to it, and they also become better students in and outside the classroom as well.
We've started a program where we're teaching the police officers how to teach chess to schools, so the police are now going into schools in an entirely different setting. They're going in there as chess teachers.
What this does is not only helps build the self-esteem of the student, of the at-risk youth, also help them with discipline and other things, but it does promote a better relationship between the police department and the community the police department serves. The chess merit badge for the Boy Scouts, the Detective Rick Metz, who's driving me today on my security detail, his son received a chess merit badge. And I said, well, do you know whose idea the chess merit badge was? He said, whose? And I said, Jeanne Sinquefield's. He goes, wow, I had no idea.
When we talked Nashville into doing the chess merit badge, I threw out that we would do a launch. Next thing we know, we have these 2 Boy Scout, groups, and grandmasters in the super giant chess set, and astronauts. They were fired up. In 5 years, 170,000 boys earn the merit badge. They have to teach 2 other boys, so we're talking about over 500,000 kids now know how to play chess.
And so they are touching a lot of lives in a whole lot of different ways. They make a big difference in a lot of people's lives and in the overall community as well. It also gives us something to be proud of. It builds civic pride. We are the chess capital of the United States of America.
In 2009, another chess opportunity was brewing far south of Missouri, in the Sunshine State. Again, Rex and Jeanne were ready.
Well, the World Chess Hall of Fame, which was housed in Florida at that time, after being previously housed in DC and New York, was having trouble getting funding from its supporters. And they had raised the issue, could somebody else take it? So Al Lawrence called me and said, would St. Louis consider taking it? And could they consider supporting it? And I said, in a heartbeat. I'll send a team, I'll get you to talking to Joy Bray, and you guys can figure out what we need to do. And as you know from looking at it today, back then was a microcosm of what it has become. It's a full-scale, artful museum, and it's impressive what they've done. We rotate the show several times a year. We've had exhibits which I don't think any other chess museum in the world would be able to have, or certainly has never had. So we've been very lucky in that regard, and it's basically all due to the tremendous staff that we had and the opportunity that was thrown our way.
Today, chess in America is much stronger. Millions of people have been affected by the St. Louis Chess Club and the World Chess Hall of Fame and Museum. This is our chance to say thank you, Rex and Jeanne. We appreciate you and all you've done for us.
That was an extraordinary video. I got to tell you, I noticed some things. First of all, little Ray Ray turned into Ray Robson. That was cute as ever. Jennifer Shahadi, I'm sorry Jen couldn't be here. We miss her so much. Saw Carol Jarecki as well, who's since passed on, was such a great friend to the club. Some of us grown up here. Some of us have grown a little older here. I started with hair, I remember. But wow, what a transformation. I do remember Tony Rich taking me on a tour of the club when it looked like crap. Just that picture you saw. And he said, it's gonna be a great chess club here. And I was like, okay, good luck. And it's a miracle. It has really been a miracle. And that video really showed it. We've been a family. We've grown up like a family. And it was, in fact, family who put that together with Spectrum Studios. I'd like to introduce the son of Dr. Jeanne and Rex Sinquefield, the president, as I said, Randy Sinquefield.
Well, it's so good to be here. First of all, I want to thank my team at Spectrum Studios, as well as the team at Silverback for putting this video together on such short order. It turned out great, and it's it was just such a wonderful trip down memory lane. You know, so many fond memories come back watching that again. So, thanks, team. Mom, Dad, congratulations. Congratulations and thank you. Thank you for being two of the best parents any son could ever ask for. Dad, I especially want to thank you for dropping out of the seminary. That worked out pretty well for me. Solid move. Mom, I don't even know where to start. The things that you and Dad have done and affected so many people. If I had to pinpoint one thing, I would think it's your dedication to scouting that I want to thank you the most for. Not only did you push me to become an Eagle Scout reluctantly at an early age of 14, you've devoted 30 plus years of your life to scouting and have affected so many of our nation's youth and our nation's future leaders. So thank you and congratulations for everything you do for Boy Scouts. Dad, you mentioned being awkward about being inducted into the Hall of Fame since you're not a Grand Master, as most people inducted to the Hall of Fame are Grand Masters. But with everything that you've done for chess in America, I think that you are more deserving, and Mom, you as well, you're both very deserving of this great honor. And I think everyone in this room will agree with me. Thank you for everything that you have done for the chess community and the community as a whole. Your hard work, determination, and generosity know no bounds. The number of people whose lives you have affected with that generosity is astonishing. I think just about everyone in this room feels the same way. Dad, a lot of people call you the godfather of chess, but Mom and Dad, collectively, I like to think of you as the saints of St. Louis chess. Congratulations on your induction. I love you both very much.
I wish I could get my son to say that. All right, well, it's time for the players. And the reason we're here for the next couple of weeks will be because we have some of the finest players not only in the country, but even on a worldwide stage, U.S. chess has become all of that. We didn't used to be able to say that. We had some great players. Yasser Seirawan comes to mind, used to represent back in the day. But Yaz, this lineup is a powerhouse. This is scary, the players we have playing in these events now. And to bring those players to the stage to talk about them, we're going to bring the big dog who's been here since the very beginning, Executive Director of the St. Louis Chess Club, Tony Rich.
Thanks, Maurice. Yeah, and following that, Randy, man, I think you had us all in tears here. You know, a lot of people have talked. Let me start off. I've got work to do. I need to go over there and bring the players up and ask them to pick a number and all that kind of stuff. And we're going to get to that in just a moment. But I wanted to express my gratitude and thankfulness to both Jeanne and Rex as well. It's not just the top players in the country or the top players in the world. It's not just the tens of thousands of scholastic chess players that have learned the game because of you guys. It's not just the fact that America knows chess more now than it ever has. It's not just the fact that you've provided opportunities for promising young players who want to become these grandmasters and play in the U.S. championships, or even the players that are really on the cusp of becoming world-class players too. I think Gary said it best whenever he said, you know, you don't just focus on one area of the game. You focus on the young scholastic players. You focus on scouts. You focus on women in chess. You focus on being able to read and write chess, just the basic vocabulary of understanding the game as well. Rex, you joked that you kind of fell into this and didn't have the vision for what the chess club could become or what we would be doing. And none of us did. In fact, 14 years ago this month, we sat at O Bistro in the Chase Park Plaza Hotel, had our very first dinner where we talked about the club, and that's really kind of the impetus of where it all began. But over those past 14 years, you've both provided guidance and direction and support. Financial support, yes, but more importantly, your trust, your faith that all of the staff at the Chess Club and the World Chess Hall of Fame could execute a plan and bring chess to America in ways that we've never seen before. So personally, my life has been changed just like Maurice, just like the 50 other employees at the Chess Club, and just like so many other folks who none of us will ever know. So thank you again, Jeanne and Rex. So now the work part of my job begins. Chess tournaments are played in lots of different formats. This particular event, the U.S. Championship and the U.S. Women's Championship, of late, we've been holding as round-robin tournaments. That's an event in which all of the players compete against all of the other players in the same tournament, accumulate points as they go along, and the person with the most points at the end wins. So in order to determine the order in which the players face each other and with which color, we have to draw lots. The players will be invited up to the stage. We have some lovely gifts for them over here. They're belts with a nice chess belt buckle on them. And we'll ask the players to come up. They'll pick one of their gifts, and they'll get their pairing number from there. At the very end, I'll announce all the pairings for round one, which begins tomorrow at 1 o'clock at the Chess Club. If you can't attend in person, always remember you can follow us on uschesschamps.com. Our amazing commentary team this year. I'm so excited. We have Grandmasters Yasser Seirawan, Christian Kurilla, and none other than Maurice Ashley calling all the play-by-play action. If you haven't heard them do commentary on chess, tune in for 10 minutes. Just watch some of it. I swear you'll be a convert. You'll love chess after that. I'm also very thankful to have an amazing arbiting team here with us. You saw Carol Jarecki earlier, who unfortunately passed away during the pandemic. Carol was kind of my guiding light when it came to being an arbiter. I remember in 2009 when she came to St. Louis and she was the chief arbiter of the U.S. and U.S. Women's Championship. Chris Bird was one of the deputy arbiters and I was the other one. And Carol would sit down with us and she was no nonsense. I remember her, she had a FIDE handbook, it's this little booklet, something like this. And she opened the page, she had it like memorized. She opened the page and she said, Tony, this is how you do chess norms. I want you to sit down and calculate every norm that could happen in the tournament by hand. I want you to figure out if anybody's going to get an international master norm or a grandmaster norm. And I tell you, I have never sweat so much for any test in my entire life. Carol will truly be missed. But our arbiting team that we have here are more than capable of carrying that mantle and doing a wonderful job. Our chief arbiter for the U.S. Championship, I'm sorry, as I call you guys, if you would come up and help me with the drawing of lots as well. Our chief arbiter of the U.S. Championship is international arbiter Frank Guadalupe. Our chief arbiter for the U.S. Women's Championship is international arbiter Chris Bird. And our deputy chief arbiter for both events combined is Maya Myers. So Maurice is going to come up here and he's going to call off the players' names. This brain trust over here and I, we're going to make sure the players get their pairing numbers, and at the very end, we will tell you what the round one pairings will be. So Maurice?
Thank you, Tony. Well, this is what the players have been waiting on. And so let's get started. We're going to start with the U.S. Women's Championships. I counted 15 championship titles in the women's event. 15. One player accounting for 8, which is pretty remarkable in and of itself. But we will start in reverse order. And to pick first will be Women's International Master Megan Lee. Number 6. Next up, Women's International Master Ashritha Eswaran. Number 1. Next up, Women's Grandmaster and former champ Sabina Feuser. Number 11. Next up, Women's Grandmaster Anna Sharovich. Number 12. Next up, Women's Grandmaster Talia Cervantes. Number 4. Next up, Women's Grandmaster Katerina Nemtsova. Number 3. Next up, a name I will mispronounce many times over the broadcast, Women's Grandmaster Gudruk Behim Tokirjonova, I think it is. More or less, not. Would you mind? Please say your name once for everybody correctly. Yes, full name, please.
Hi, my full name is Gulurukh Begum Takirjanova.
I missed it by this much. Yeah, so you're gonna screw that up many times, so don't even try it. She says she goes by Begum though, so we're gonna do that. Number 8. Next up, two-time champion and returning once again to the championship, Naji Paikidze. Number 2. Next up, Women's Grandmaster Tatev Abrahamian. Number 5. Next up, 4-time champion, International Master Anna Zatonsky. Number 10. Next up, International Master Carissa Yip. Number 9, and to do the final honors, one of the legends of U.S. women's chess, an 8-time champion, Grandmaster Irina Krush. Lucky number 7. Let's see if it's lucky for her as she goes after a record-tying 9th championship. Simply remarkable. Pairings are being calculated and tabulated there. We will now go to the championship field. And we have Grandmaster John Burke. Number 9. Next up, Grandmaster Daniel Naroditsky. Number 11. Next up, Grandmaster Alex Lenderman. Number 5. Next up, first time in the championship, Grandmaster Lazaro Bruson. Number 7. Next up, Grandmaster Sam Sevian. Number 1. Next up, Grandmaster Dariusz Schwartz. Number 4. Next up, Little Ray Ray, Grandmaster Ray Robson. Number 2. I mentioned that there were 15 titles in the women's section. It's so difficult in the men's section, extremely competitive. There are only 4 total titles in the men's side. Will be very hotly contested. One of them goes to the one next up, Grandmaster, I should say went to, Grandmaster Sam Shankland. Number 12. Next up, Grandmaster Jeffrey Zhang. Number 3. Next up, Grandmaster Lenier Dominguez. Number 8. Next up, a 2-time champion, Grandmaster Wesley So. He happens to also be the reigning champ. Number 10. And finally, he's the world number 2. He's only stole 1 of the U.S. Championship titles. However, he'll certainly be looking to make it a second. The world number 2 player, Grandmaster Fabiano Caruana. Number 6. We've got our calculations, our tabulations, pairings ready. Tony, come and announce the pairings for round one.
It's a very dangerous job. I just checked with my arbiters and I said, do you want to double check the pairings before I announce it? And they're like, yes, but here we go. In the U.S. Women's Championship tomorrow starting at 1 p.m., we will have Ashritha Eswaran versus Anna Sharevich, Nazi Pikidze versus Sabina Foiger, Katerina Nemtsova versus Anna Zatansky. Maybe I should have. Oh, I'm sorry. Talia Cervantes against Carissa Yip, Tatev Abrahamian versus Golrukh Begim Tohirnova, something, and Megan Lee versus Irina Krush. In the U.S. Championship section, Sam Sevian versus Sam Shanklin, Ray Robson versus Daniel Naroditsky, Jeffrey Zhang versus Wesley So, Darius Fiertz against John Burke, Alex Lenderman faces off against Lenier Dominguez, and Fabiano Caruana will have white against Lazaro Bruzan. Good luck to all the players tomorrow.
Well, folks, we have come to the end of our evening. It is going to be a very exciting event, to be sure. You should tune in tomorrow. It will start at 12:50 Central. That's 1:50 on the East Coast. Very exciting chess. We'll be doing commentary for the show. I've been told there are lots of goodies you've got to get. There are mass books, read and write chess books, tote bags, lapel pins, all courtesy of Q Boutique. Take free stuff. It's always good. When they tell you can take free stuff, take it. Everyone, thank you so much for joining us for the 2021 U.S. Championship opening ceremony and the inductions into the Chess Hall of Fame. Enjoy the evening. Good night.
This has been a presentation of the St. Louis Chess Club. Any reproduction or distribution of this content without the express written consent of the St. Louis Chess Club is prohibited.